Plaintiff Frank Williams has a 12-year-old daughter with the defendant's ex-wife, who was with Frank in court today. Frank claims the defendant is a dangerously jealous man with a history of going to jail. And Frank's suing because he claims the defendant had him falsely arrested for battery. Defendant Leonardo Minter insists Frank stabbed him, and that is why he had him arrested. Leonardo is determined to prove that he's telling the truth, so he petitioned the court for a lie detector test, and he's countersuing for emotional distress.
Start with you.
Your Honor, it's a pleasure to be back on your show again. I was on the show once before, suing a man for defamation of character. I'm suing this man for $5,000 for attorney fees when he had me falsely arrested for aggravated battery with intent to do great bodily harm, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, charges for which I was acquitted for at trial. I have the receipt here for my attorney fees. Your Honor, this man has a history of going to prison repeatedly and jail back to back to back. He also has a history of being a dangerously jealous man. Each time that he's released from prison, he goes on jealous rampages, chasing everybody away from around his ex-wife. But he couldn't chase me away because I have a 12-year-old daughter with his ex-wife. So each time he get out, he would accuse me and her of having relations because I wouldn't back down from it.
Before you get to the specific incident, let me hear from you.
I know Mr. Williams because of my ex-wife, which is sitting there as his witness now. Okay, Your Honor, I've been going through so much emotional pain and suffering with this man, even before this man cut me. I don't know what games him and my ex-wife, then girlfriend, was playing, but there's so much going on with this case, Your Honor, and I'm going to prove that this man is a liar and that this man did, because I petitioned the court to take a lie detector test to prove to you I'm not lying about anything that I say in this court today.
Have you come running after him whenever you got out of jail about your ex-wife?
No, Your Honor. First, when I went to jail, when I went to prison, it was all because of driving on revoke from a DUI in 2001, Your Honor.
Okay, and hadn't been any violent crimes?
No, sir. No, Your Honor.
All right, good.
On the contrary, this man, Mr. Williams, had pulled a gun on me.
About what?
He came over one day saying he wants to see his stepdaughter. He doesn't have a biological daughter, but he met her when she was 1 year old, okay? He came over one day saying he wants to see his stepdaughter. I allowed that because when we were going together, I allowed that because he knew her when she was one, so that was it. But later and later, he would come over later and later, you know, and...
At night?
At night, and Your Honor...
But you would be there?
But I would be there. And Your Honor, we had an argument, and he said, wait right here, I'll be back. Your Honor, the man came back in his van, pulled out a gun, just waving it, just all kinds of violent words or whatever. She had to stop him, had to actually grab him and put him in his car, in his van, okay? That went over, so we broke up for a while, okay? We ended up getting married. I knew I was going back to jail because I got stopped again for driving on revoke. Her daughter informed me that Mr. Williams has been spending the night.
While you were in jail?
While I was in jail.
When you come home, she said, while you were going to jail, Mr. Williams was spending the night.
She calls him her dad. After that, we got into a argument about that, and I violated my probation by driving again.
Let me get to the attorney fees you're suing him for. How does he owe you for attorney fees? What happened? Obviously, there was an incident.
On December of 2010, Christmas Eve, when I went to my daughter's mother's house to take her last-minute Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve, this man had just been recently released from prison. He overheard my conversation on the phone with my daughter, so he knew what time I would be arriving. When I arrived at the house, he hid and peeped from behind the Christmas tree, watched me unload the gifts from the trunk of my car. He waited till I got close up to the door. The Christmas tree is in the window by the door. Then he leaped out from behind the Christmas tree with the toy BB gun. That he didn't know that I had bought the toy BB gun for a child in the house for Christmas. He started accusing me of what me and his wife was doing while he was in prison.
With the toy BB gun pointed at
He didn't know that I knew it was a toy. So when he couldn't put no fear in me, then he pulled out a real knife, which he held like this. I just threw the gifts in his face and grabbed him with the knife and threw him down in the snow. He hadn't shoved the snow. Threw him down in the snow. Soon as he hit the snow, it turned red. He probably had cut himself on the way. He jumped right up, ran in the house, and this is how he had me falsely arrested. He told the police that I had come to his house to see his wife, cut him while he was standing on his porch for no reason at all, beat him with the pistol, and drove away. So at trial, he and all his witnesses and his testimony and everybody else there testified that he ran outside as the aggressor, and I was acquitted at trial. But he didn't stop there, Your Honor. The day that I was acquitted at trial, he waited outside of the courthouse, jumped from between the Christmas trees out there, and I have the police report to show you. I have the police report. Jumped from between the Christmas trees there and tried to...
So he only gets you at Christmas time?
No, it wasn't Christmas time. This was summer. They got two big Christmas trees. He jumped from behind there. I have the police report.
All right, give me what you want.
And he didn't stop there, Your Honor. The next Christmas, he called me on the phone and say, what are we going to do this Christmas?
Christmas time again.
Yeah, right. He called me to say, what are we going to do this Christmas? And so when that Christmas came around, he called me and said, what are we going to do this Christmas? I said, well, I don't know what you want to do this Christmas. But I called the police. I have the police report here. Then,
see it, please.
Come summer again, he called and tried to threaten me again. This time, they made him serve 74 days in the county jail for threatening me.
Really?
Yes, they did.
Sir, did you serve time for threatening him?
No, sir, Your Honor. I was in jail for driving on revoked.
I know that's what you've been telling me.
Read it, John. And I have the information here on 3 occasions when he wasn't.
Now the attorney fees are for all these things,
no,
or
my
what?
attorney fees is $5,000.
For what exactly? Let me see it, please.
For the case of aggravated battery, of which I was found not guilty for.
Sir, you tell me about this fight.
Yes, sir.
And the assault.
It was a fight on his half. I didn't get a chance to swing or do anything. Your Honor, I'll have pictures to show what this man has done to me.
What did he do to you?
He cut me, he sliced me in my face, and ran off.
Who had the knife? He brought the knife to the scene?
He brought the knife with him.
So he cut you with the knife?
He cut me with the knife.
When the police came, what happened then?
When the police came, I dialed 911 first, you know? Called for 911.
That's usually what you have to do. When the police came, what happened?
They asked witnesses. They asked if anybody's seen anything. They asked me what happened. I told them Frank came here and cut me with a knife.
And they arrested him and prosecuted him. Did they arrest you at all?
No, sir.
Okay. Then you went to court and he was acquitted. Why do you think he was acquitted?
Because he had wrote a statement, Your Honor, and had my ex-wife now sign it. Okay.
Saying what?
Saying that I could have went into the kitchen and got a knife. That's why he was reasonable doubt.
That's reasonable doubt. That's what I was about to say.
Acquitted.
Yeah, you can get acquitted. That's how you get acquitted, sir. In criminal court, you must be convicted beyond a reasonable doubt.
Exactly.
Ooh,
Your Honor, I have
this is your face? How do you say this happened, sir?
Exactly the way I say it happened in trial.
He fell on it.
Grabbed his arm and threw him down. With that, he's standing there holding the knife like this. I grabbed him and threw him straight down into the snow. That's how he got cut. He called the police, said, I did it. I have the judge's ruling here.
Let me see the judge's ruling.
Exactly. And I have my attorney's closing argument, where each one, after listening to all the evidence, they determined that this man was the aggressor.
What's your emotional distress for, sir?
My emotional distress, Your Honor. I was in surgery for 6 hours, Your Honor. I have a scar on my face from my eye to my nose. The man severed, if you can look in the picture, Your Honor, the man tried to sever my nose. 2 inches lower, the man would have cut me and I'd have died, Your Honor. This man has caused me so much pain. I'm not I don't care about him taking my wife. That's nothing, Your Honor. What the boil down to is the pain and the anguish of this man in my face, in my business, asking my wife to fix him some chitlins, Your Honor. Your Honor, this man has his own life. He has his own. Why ask my wife to fix? And I cussed him out on the phone, Your Honor. I told the man, I said, man, you're not getting nothing from him. This man not only...
You know, it's amusing that he's saying that his wife, they got into all of this because the man asked his wife to cook him some chitlins. That's amusing,
Do you
but
know
the
how
man
hard
suffered
it is?
a pretty...
Chitlins takes time.
I'm trying to get you away from that. I'm trying not to laugh at you, man, because you had a serious injury, but you just won't take the gift. Do you know how long? No, I don't know how long it takes to cook chitlins, sir.
Yeah,
I got that.
yeah.
Sir, you said you took a lie detector test.
Yes,
and you
sir.
were all right. Do you have the test? Even though I can't rely on that for accuracy, I am going to read it, but I'm not going to rely on that, sir.
Okay, Your Honor, can I say one thing?
Yes, sir.
I got a police report here on the case. When Dog gets back, Your Honor, this man says...
Let me see it, please.
That I was in the house and I hid behind trees. That's all funny and everything, but this is dead serious, Your Honor. This man comes from 2 towns with a knife in his pocket and cuts me in my face, Your Honor.
This is the lie detector results. When asked if you threatened Frank with a knife during Christmas 2010, you answered no. The lie detector determined you were telling the truth. When asked if you threatened Frank Williams with any kind of weapon during Christmas 2010, you answered no. The lie detector test determined you were telling the truth. When asked whether he was telling your wife to cook chitlins for him, no, it doesn't say that. But I thought I'd read that. If that makes you feel better, that's fine. But I will read what your judge said. And the only way you can receive compensation for being falsely arrested is if it is determined that he did not have probable cause to report the crime. And I'm reading what your judge said. And the state must prove all the elements of the defense beyond a reasonable doubt, like I said. Here, there's certainly probable cause.
I got you.
Judge said it was probable cause.
I got you, Your Honor. I understand.
Judge said he believes certainly. Says certainly. There's certainly probable cause. Your emotional distress, he did cut your face. I don't believe that story about this man falling down, cutting his face like that. This man been slashing his face. You slashed that man in his face. When you fall, you don't fall and slash. When you fall, it goes in. That's not what happened. This man's face was slashed. $5,000 for the counterpayment for his face. Have a good day.
God is good, and God will tell the truth. The truth will be shown.